What up, guys? This is Chad from Driven by Christ. This is going to be episode 11 of Car Mechanic Driven by Christ Auto. But it's, based off of the game Car Mechanic Simulator. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, and I actually had to go back over. Guys, y'all have got to understand, Jamie has been having a lot of problems. I mean, ever since Thanksgiving, we done been to the hospital, and we've done dealt with a lot of stuff, but Jesus has held his word. He's got us through it. She's at home. We're still doing good, but we just got up here to the shop this morning. It's been a few days since I've been open, so I'm glad to be back with y'all. And today is going to mark a really important day, because I think the only thing we had left to do our drag car before we took it out there to the strip, and I can show y'all how to start productively making money with your drag cars for your business and on here on this game. But before we get started, we're going to share a word from our Lord. So, dear Jesus, it is good to proclaim our love in the morning and your faithfulness at night. As we declare the wonders of your loving presence, I find strength and encouragement in you. The glorious blessings flows into us even more when we speak the words out loud. As we accept your love, help us to rejoice with the joy that is filled with glory. Your amazing love is unfailing, priceless, and boundless, reaching to the heavens. It shines so brightly that it can carry us through all our days, even the bad ones. Guys, you're gonna have bad days. Like the stuff that I'm dealing with my wife right now is a bad day, but you hold true to your prayers, and I'm telling you guys, Jesus will see you through every time. When we get to the end of each day, it's time to declare our faithfulness that is limitless. As we look back, or declare your faithfulness that is limitless. As we look back over the day, we can see how you guided us and opened up the way before us. The more difficulties we encountered, the more you enabled, empowered, and equipped us to overcome the obstacles. It is good to give voice to your great faithfulness, especially at night, so that we can lay down and sleep in peace and wait faithfully for your return. In your loving name, Jesus. Amen. Alright, so this is going to be coming from Psalms chapter 92, verse 1 and 2. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 8. Psalms 35, verse 5. And Psalms 4, verse 8. Chapter 4, verse 8. So, that's our word for today. And I'm telling you guys, it is 100% true. I am a living example of it. But anyways, let's go ahead and get the shop opened up for today. Go ahead and clean the dust off the computer, because it's been quite a few days. So, luckily we had some money to sit on these days off. So yeah, we turn on the computer, you go back here, turn on the battery charger, get everything fired up, make sure your brake lathe is cleaned out, ready to be used for the day, organize your tools. If normally we do that at the end of each day. So alright, shop looks like it's ready to go. Looks like we did a pretty good job putting everything up. So this is our drag car. We've been working on it, and not every episode, but most of the time whenever we don't have crazy thing going on with customer cars and O'Reillys and all types of stuff. Boy, I know they're just happy to see me back open today, but in some ways they are. I mean, it's business, so be glad for every type of business. If you own a business and a customer walks through your door, that is a blessing right there. But today, we are actually not going to be getting a customer order. I don't have Jamie here to help me today, so we are not going to be doing that. It's going to be 100% dedication to our drag car, and the strip is open today, so we're going to be getting it ready to go. We have not even did the first startup, so this computer is going to need tuning, and we got to get the wheels on it. But let's go ahead and kind of check and make sure we got all of our suspension components on here. Let's jump to the other side. Whoa. Well, we about stuck our face on the brake rotor there. Alright, so looks like we got everything assembled. Sometimes I kind of forget stuff in the back, and we're just going to review just to make sure we are ready to go, because I don't want it to be like, oh, well, you're missing a rubber bushing. Okay, that is a famous thing of this game. So looks like all of our bushings are in place, because we definitely do not want nothing coming undone on a dyno with a 1,000+ horsepower car, and I guarantee you this is going to put more than 1,000 horsepower down. So let's go ahead and get our tires on. Actually, let's get this car raised up. Not feeling like killing my back today. So we did fluids the last time we was here, so we are going to double check everything again. Now, the tires, you know, they come in from let me see, where's my rally? Okay, here we go. From the rim shop and specialists and tire specialists. So we got our tire package. Now remember, you're gonna put your wider tires on the back. So right here we got our tires. We got the 255s and the 355s. Alright, so remember guys, the first set of numbers, like I'll give an example with this first tire and rim, 355, 30, 20. Alright, so the first set of numbers is the measurement on how wide the tire is. The second set of numbers is how the profile of the tire, how skinny or fat it is, or how tall it is. And then of course, you know, R20 stands for rim size being a 20-inch. So if you're some of the younger generation that maybe forgot, so we got to put the smaller tires up front, or else it's going to look stupid if we got big tires on the front and all of our power is going to the back wheels. But man, we are running some slicks on this thing, so this car is going to grip really good. So oh yeah, that's a good wide tire. And that's actually the size tire that I got on my Acura TL is a 255. But we're going to put these big ones in the back. These are our 355s. So yeah, you can see how wide this tire is. And it does stick out from up underneath the fender a little bit. If you got something that big on a car, it's going to stick out. But we are going to need every bit of that tire to grip the road, because this car is going to be producing some power, son. It is going to be making it. Before we get the car on the dyno, we are actually going to go out there to our paint booth, and we're going to go ahead and paint this car and get the interior in it, but at least we can roll it around now. We can't crank it up yet because we haven't tuned our computer yet for all the modifications that we've done to this motor. So let's do a really quick oil check, because it would be a shame that we start this motor up and for some reason we had an oil leak. So yes, we are good with oil. We are ready to go. Looks like we got brake fluid, coolant, power steering fluid's good. So yeah, that's the basics. If we forgot like a wash fluid or something like that, that ain't gonna tear up the car. But anyways, go ahead and get the hood closed, and we'll put it all the way on the ground. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and get this thing moved to the paint shop, and we'll go ahead and get our interior put in. So here we go. Alright, so this is your paint shop. I don't think I've actually painted a vehicle on here before yet, unless you caught one of my, not my own personal vehicle on here. I think we've painted customer vehicles, quite a few of them. So anyways, we do not have interior into this car, so what we're going to do, we're going to go to the O'Reilly parts menu. We're going to go to their nope, we don't need O'Reilly's. We're going to need the Body Workstation shop down in town. We're going to go to theirs, and yes, we do got the Charger. Wrong menu. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've been at work, I should say. Alright, the interior shop is what we're going to have to get a hold to. Wow. Anyways, y'all gonna have to bear with me. It's been a few days. Alright, let's see. We're gonna put some of the GT style race seats in here. We want as much, we do want some comfort, but we do want some racing seats. Now see, these are just regular over the shoulder seat belts. We do not want them. We want the racing seats where you can pull the straps over our shoulders, which is going to be like these Nissan seats, and I think there is another seat that is like that. Alright, and then we got the GTR seats, and then we got the Salem GW500 seats. These are not going to be too comfortable, but they are going to be our lightest option, like if you're really trying to cut the weight down on your vehicle. Because remember, guys, it's not all about the power that you have in the vehicle. It is the weight versus power. If you got a light car, and you don't take a lot of horsepower to make that car fast. But if you got a heavy car, you got to have a lot of power to make that car fast. So, but anyways, I'm kind of looking at more of the modern day look. We're going to go with some of these 370Z race seats. We're going to put them into there. We ain't even putting a back seat in because there's no point in it. Oop, we almost forgot. We got to get a steering wheel. So they're getting our seats together for us. We just put the order through. It should be showing up at any moment. Let's see what type of steering wheel do we want to run, because we're gonna have a lot of stuff going on with this car. So we're gonna have some do we need electronics on here on the steering wheel? Nah, I think we can get away with having a pretty basic steering wheel. So since this is going to be a muscle car, we're going to go with a muscle car look. I love these steering wheels, the Bandit style steering wheels like that. I remember having one of them in one of my first cars I owned as a kid. Somebody had a steering wheel like that in my very first car was a 1980 Mazda RX-7 GTX Turbo. Had a 13B rotary engine in it. And of course it was a turbocharged rotary. Anyways, we're going to grab that steering wheel. And we'll wait for that stuff to get here. And we're going to take a look at our paint. We're going to figure out what we're going to do this car in. So the factory color was this. The original body code, that was the paint color. In fact, I'm going to show y'all something. Well, it won't let me use the cursor, but on most vehicles, if you want to know what the factory color was, if somebody did not paint over the sticker like most people do whenever they're painting a car, it will tell you the paint code on the in between the driver door panel. It'll be a sticker on the body. It also gives the vehicle's year, make, model, production date, and everything. So, but we are gonna go with a chrome, possibly a chrome style paint, and I'm thinking more like not all the way black, but like a grayish black, kind of like something like this. But it's going to be very shiny because it's a chrome. So maybe not. We probably don't want to be blinded. We definitely don't want it matte. Pearl metallic is kind of old school. Let's check out some of this pearl paint. It always looks good. Yeah, something like that. Because you want to be able to tell that the car is getting dirty, because that is another thing. These cars do, you know, get dirty and wear out and do different things in the vehicle or in the game. So we're gonna go with this chameleon black. That way we can actually, it's gonna have a little bit of color shift where it gets kind of a grayish and then it goes to a deep black. So looks good. We're gonna go with that one. Believe me, we're gonna have a ton of cars on here that we're gonna go through. So this is just going to be our charger, and the proceeds off of this car are going to pay for our other cars. So I'm going to show y'all how to make money with this. But anyways, so our seats are here. We got to get all of them out of the box. But like I said, normally right into here on the door panel is where that sticker is going to be, or it's going to be on the end of the door. So, but most of the time they put it on the body just in case somebody damages the door and it has to be replaced. So anyways, let's go ahead and get our interior put into here. So we already had some GW race seats, so we technically didn't even need the 370, but we wanted some comfort, and since our car is black, the seats will match it too, and it's got red stitching on it, so it looks really good. A lot of our secondary colors on our motor are going to be red, and of course we got the DrivenByChrist racing brakes on here, ceramic coated, basically like your Brembo racing brakes. So it looks really good. So there we go. We got this car painted. We had it primered for a little while, and most of your body panels, even though that you get that come black, they are already pre-primed from the manufacturer, so all you got to do is just paint it. But if you've done left your parts sitting out for a while and they got dust on them, be sure, guys, before you paint, to clean off all your material. Make sure you clean it off with soap and water. Any oil or anything that got on it, you want to make sure that your paint sticks really well. You don't want your paint chipping off, because there is a lot of work that goes into painting in the car, and it is way more than this game explains by any means. So alright, so that's it. We are ready to hit the dyno, and this is what everybody has been waiting for. So let's go ahead and get the car rolled over there to the dyno, and we won't be too long from getting to the track. Alright, so we got this thing on the dyno. In real life, there are going to be straps and these eye hooks on the floor, or circle hooks on the floor. They're concreted in that hold this car into place. These are some of the tracks. You slide it into that track, and there's a big old ratchet strap that runs from back here, and it holds this car on these rollers down here. And this is what actually measures how much power your car is producing. What the computer, the dyno system, does is there's a braking system up underneath here, and it loads the car up, and it can measure how much power the vehicle has got by putting resistance on these rollers. That's the reason why high horsepower vehicles, they break loose on dynos. If they got a lot of power, they can even break loose on a dyno, so you know they're going to break loose going down the road. So they actually got different types of dynos. Some of them have like a metal box here that has a shaft that goes out where you jack the car up in the back, you take the wheel off, and you actually got a hub that hooks directly to the drive shaft. That way you don't have any wheel spin that you got to accommodate for, which can give you an incorrect reading on your dyno chart. So anyways, we would go ahead and plug everything into the ECM, run our wires back over here to our computer, and or you can pull the computer out of the car and just bring it over here, but we're going to leave everything installed. And here we go. So right now we got a computer that is all over the place. So we want to try to get these numbers to the, we're gonna go ahead and drop everything down as low as possible because we don't want to throw the full oomph to it yet. But let's see, trying to get everything as low as possible. Alright, a +3, that's 8.5% tuning, so, and look at there, guys. Trying to make it go all the way to the bottom, we actually open this computer all the way up. So we're gonna do that with a -4. We want to, you know, kind of get a base tune at first just to see what we got, and then we'll go ahead and open it all the way up. Oh yeah, we also need to set our transmission up too. So we are going to run, we're not going to run a 3-speed power glide or a turbo 400. We are going to run 6 gears in this car. So let's see, we're going to 6 gears. It's like really ridiculous. If I'm not mistaken, this is kind of going to be about what our car is going to run. We just got to get through it really quick. Let's see, first gear, we are going to bring that up to about like 60 miles per hour. We'll bring that up to, because you want these to be shorter gears. You don't want to be trying to climb through let's see, through a lot of miles per hour in between each gear. You want to try to keep the car in its power band the whole time. So we're going to actually lower this one down to about like 140, and we'll lower this one down to, actually we'll lower this one even more, 130, go up to 180, and then 229. We'll try that. Alright, so we set our gear ratio in our transmission, and in real life you would actually order your gears like first gear would be a 2.4 gear ratio, second 1.8, and then your final drive. So anyways, you'd have to look up how a transmission works to and it will explain what these ratios mean. But whenever you're picking out these gears, you basically would have to pull apart the transmission and put first, second, third, fourth, and fifth gear with synchros in it, unless you are running a dog box style transmission where they don't have synchronizers. Basically, whenever you let off the gas, you're holding for that next gear and it falls into it, and you're basically just using the clutch to come out of the hole to get it in first gear. After that, you're pretty much floating with a dog box. Even though that you're hitting the clutch, it is not going to go into gear until the engine speed matches the ratio where it can fall into gear. So double click that apply, make sure you got your settings down. So we are ready. We're going to see what we are up against. Let's see what type of power we got. Engine cannot be started. So here we go. We're already off to a wonderful start. So for some reason we can't even start this motor at all, and I figured it. That is the exact reason why. I guess whenever we were doing the ratios in the transmission, we forgot to put the starter back on. So yeah, it's not going to start without one of these. I knew immediately where to look because I double checked everything else. All the electronics is good. Yeah, see, we got relays for everything, so we're good there. Alright, so let's see if we can get this thing to start up. Alright, there it is. She is running on a bass tune. So what you would do in real life, you would let this car run, let it get up to operating temperature, and check everywhere for any type of leaks is what you're gonna do. You know, you would have your computer in here reading your air and fuel ratios, and then you would slowly start giving the car gas. That way it can sit there. You gotta hold it like at 15 or 2000. Let it do tuning to your computer. Let it do that, and then go up a little bit more. It'll tell you to, whoops. Be like, hold at 3000, it's doing its settings. Go up to 4. Be real easy. So that's it. Right there, the computer just kicked our rev limiter out at 5. And this is just a bass tune. That's the reason why it's not revving up really fast neither. Only about 5,500 RPM. That is crazy. I figured this thing would turn way more RPM than that, but we'll find out once we actually get it to the track. For some reason, this game does not reflect the RPM and how quickly the engine revs up than what it does at the drag strip. So, but anyways, let's see what our base power is. So factory was 703. That was, you know, just a factory engine, and this is a detuned base map on our computer. And let's see what we got with our upgrade. So it's going to be way more than that. Got to get through the gears. Wow. We don't even have this thing opened all the way up, and we have over a double amount of horsepower gain. So 1,421 horsepower. Wow. But anyways. Sorry guys, hold on, I'm getting something to drink. I bet you can probably like taste the fuel in here, but no, as they got these things that they would hook up to the exhaust and suck the fumes out. But anyway, so not a bad haul. 1,400 and some odd horsepower. We've completely doubled the horsepower, and we haven't even opened the computer up all the way. So you know, right about now, still check for leaks, check for anything. Go ahead, you know, check all your fluids after you get finished running it on the dyno and doing its first initial warm-up, because you will be surprised at how many leaks you have, because you don't know what's going on until you crank up the car for the first time. So let's get over here to our ECU. It's going to be really easy to change. All we got to do is just back that on up. So we was at a negative percentile. Now we are plus 16%. We're going to apply that. So this is going to be opening up our car all the way. This is pretty much every bit of the horsepower this engine's going to be able to create. We're going to see what it does. Let's start the test. Come on. I don't know why it's not starting it already. Our drag rating is a 971. That is the last class. That is the highest class you can be in the drag racing simulator. We're going to be racing against like supercars with our first drag car that we built for Driven by Christ Auto. So Jesus is shining through right now. 1,563 horsepower at 1,410 foot-pounds of torque. Still a lower RPM range, so I guess this engine was stroked a pretty good amount because it's got a lot of torque, but it just don't have the RPM range. So we may actually have to play with our gear ratios a little bit differently since this car has got a lot of torque. You gotta set your gear ratios up different. So let's go ahead and get into here. We're gonna start it back up. We're gonna take it down here to the track. So, and it's right down the road, so we're good. And we're gonna do a test run at first. Alright, so while we're traveling down here to the track. So, anyways, this is called the Duneway Drag Strip. You got 4 different areas. These are all computer runs. The only one that you can make money in is the King of the Sands Championships, but I highly recommend do not jump straight into there because we're treating this like real. If this car gets wrecked, it's done with. We'll have to find another one. Because in real life, if you wrecked a car like this, it would be destroyed. So, but it could be rebuilt. But, you know, that's just, most of the time, if you wreck a drag car, you normally have to find another frame. They're normally damaged past repair. But, we're going to get to it. I'm going to explain everything. Quick Pick is just a random, car setup. I think it just throws a random car against your drag car. In fact, let me look at this. I've never car version, and we always run half mile. I know most people do quarter mile, but we do the half mile races because we want to really see what this car can do. We ain't going to run a component. Like I said, we're just going to get it out there and figure out what our car is going to be running. Alright, so anyways, whenever you stage up, if you hit the gas right now, say you get a red light. Alright, so you have to hold the clutch, which is, I want to say it is X. So if you hold down X and you give it gas, it's going to start your Christmas tree. And what you want to do is you kind of want to let off the clutch, which is X, while you're holding gas to the floor. On that last third yellow light, see how you got the pre-stage area, the second stage, you're going to be completely staged, but whenever you start, you want to try to get as close as you can to getting that green light, because it's called your basically your ETs. Whenever you're coming off the line, your reaction time, your RT, not ETs, but you want to have a good reaction time, because if you're slow at the light, it could be you losing the race, even if you do got a really fast car. So basically what we're going to do, and I think shifting gears is R1 or L1 and R1. Let's see. Yeah. So you can actually start out in a different gear if you wanted to. All this stuff you'll just have to play with on the car in order to figure out. But since we're running slicks, we are going to start out in first gear. And remember your miles per hour in each gear, because that's what you want to shift out at. You don't want to over rev your motor. So let's see what we can do. See, we're turning way more. Whoa, this thing's all over the road. Yeah, 6 gears, way too short. Yeah, we got a lot of tuning we gotta do. A ton of tuning that we gotta do. But we are going to run it one more time. We're gonna have to check our suspension. Something's not right. This car is not wanting to stay on the road at all. Let's see. Yeah, I'm having to steer this car everywhere right now. Alright, so it looks like it's doing 200 and so we had a good reaction time, 0.05 seconds. 168 miles per hour at 9 seconds through the quarter. So pretty fast. It's a really fast car. It's a fast car. But it is telling me that we have got to take this thing back to the garage because we do have problems. 6th gear needs to be shortened a lot more because it's not even getting up to 230 miles per hour. 1st gear is going to be extended. We're going to try to even out our gear ratios. Now remember, every time y'all tune this car, if y'all change anything, save it. And then you got to re-dyno it again. So we're going to push 1st gear up to 70 miles per hour. We're going to do 90 in 2nd gear. We'll do 120 in that gear. And then as you go up, you want smaller steps. Like, you know, the car only does about 210 miles per hour through the quarter. So let's see, that's a 30, it's 8, that's 20, 30, that's a 30 miles per hour jump, and we're going to keep this last gear, we're going to drop it down to, we're going to at least keep it at 212 miles per hour. But we're going to give it a little bit more. We're going to drop this. That's a big jump from 90. We'll drop this down to like 110. We'll do 115. And then this one will bring it down to like 135. Yeah, like 135. Then 170. Yeah, you want to try to keep the distance in between each gear about the same. Yeah, try to bring that up a little bit more to get it as close as you can to your final drive gear. So, alright. Apply. We got that. We're going to give that a try. And see what that does, and after we get finished running it on the dyno, I don't know why whenever you change the transmission you gotta actually rerun it on the dyno, but that is the only way it registers. Alright, 1,563. So, I have noticed whenever you change the gear ratio, it does change your drag rating. So, there is a difference. And I'm going to show y'all how to work the drag system, because that last reading, it's not about your horsepower, it's about the class you were in and your performance number. Like, this is a 971 now. We was at like a 980 something, so for some reason we dropped in performance, which I don't understand how we done that. But anyways, we're gonna get this car over there to the alignment shop because something is going on up underneath there that it's all over the road. So we're gonna go ahead and check. Oh well, that explains it. The car is completely out of alignment. Which, guys, if you got a car and you're not running slicks, this can be the wreck of your car if you do not do this before you start at the track. I thought we had already done it, so the car is going to run a whole lot better now that we got the tires straight. We got up underneath there and got it aligned. This is just your headlight alignment, like for driving at nighttime, which I've never seen nighttime on this game, so I don't understand why that's even here. Anyway, so Driven by Christ Auto's first drag car, it had its first run, ran 9 seconds at like 160 miles per hour through the quarter, and we should reach a top speed of at least 210 miles per hour in a half mile. So that's pretty much it. We're gonna go ahead and jump into it, and we're gonna head back to the drag strip. Drag strip. Alright guys, so we're still testing and tuning. Go back to your warm-up because you want to get this car consistently running before you run into the tournaments, because I'm telling you, if we got a pretty good percentile chance of racing, and whenever I get into that, I'll explain all that. Let's just keep working with the car because we want to make sure it's going to run right and not wreck it. I'm hoping first gear is not going to be too long, but we're going to find out. Nope, perfect. Fifth gear is kind of long. Oh, there we go. And we ran a 9-1 this time at 167. So because I changed the gear ratio, it actually is running a little bit slower. We ran a 207. I think the last time we ran a 209, but I did have a better reaction time too, so that could be a little bit of the variant, but it is a whole lot better at controlling. Like, I didn't even have to steer the car that time. So 0 to 60 was 2.1 seconds. 60 to 100 was another 2 seconds, and then 60 to 125 was a total of 10 seconds. So these are all things to pay attention to. That's the reason why the game measures it. This is how you set your gear ratios up. But I think we are good enough to run this car the way that it is. We're going to go ahead and actually put it into the championship series this afternoon, since we done been working on the car in the morning. We done missed the morning run, so we're gonna do the afternoon or the lunch series midday run, because you got afternoon and then you got night. So remember, half mile. Now let me explain this. A lot of people are wondering about the drag DLC, that drag rating where it says Class A 971. Alright, that is your performance number. It starts from, I think it's like 100, and it goes up anything up above. Whenever we get a lower horsepower car, I will know. I've done actually forgot what the is, but what you want to do is, say if you got a car that is running, say it's a 700, and we'll take the comparison. Say you run a 801, on your drag rating. You do not want to run with an 801 because that is the beginning of the 800s. For every 100 in the drag rating is the beginning of a new class. So you want to try to get as high as you can, like a 799 or a 798. But don't go over into the 800, because once you get into the 800, you're pretty much going to be the slowest car in the 800 class, because these other cars, if you're in the 800s, are going to be running like 840s and 860s. So the overall number is the overall quickness of your car. Since we're running a 971, that puts us at a 71% chance of winning most of our races, unless it's driver's era or tuning era. If you're doing a lot of spinning, you want to try to hook up. You want to get rid of that spin, because the spin is going to end up putting you into the wall. But we're doing half-mile runs, and see right there. So alright, so these are your performance classes, 0 to 100. Now you see right here from 101 to 200. So we're 400 plus, so we would be in the I guess 801. No, not 801, but the 901 to 1,000 horsepower class, or race class. So we're, like I said, we're at a 971, so that's good. That's 71. We're not running a 901 where we're pretty much going to be losing all the time. And I'm going to show you how to make this system work for you. So if you know you're running a 971 performance class, the entry fee is going to cost 1,000 credits. So yes, we want to put $1,000 down to enter into this tournament. We started out with $229,000, and I'm going to show y'all how to make money in this. So right here, you can go through the different races, the different brackets. So we are actually the first ones to go out on the track, but we're going to go with this second race, and this is where you bet in between the cars. So odds are, you see at the bottom where it's got the drag rating, the overall drag rating. This one Ferrari is a 985, the other one's a 958. Well, most people would say, yeah, let's go ahead and bet on the 985. This game will try to cheat you. Certain cars are faster than others. Whenever you go to the drag strip a lot, you're going to know which cars, even if they have a lower performance number, they have a chance of winning. But the game is going to try to go against you and try to make you lose your bets. So use it to your advantage. Right now, this Ferrari's got a 985 class, so it definitely has a chance of outrunning you on the track. So you want to bet for that car. That way, if you do lose, at least you're winning the money from the placing your bets. And you can use it to your advantage. If the game wants to cheat you and say that a 985 lost to a 958, which is, I don't see how that would happen, that means you would be racing against the 958 car if the 985 lost, and you have a better chance of winning. So you see how you can use your bets, because the game's going to try to make you lose the bet, but you can use the betting in a more of a chance of winning the tournament, the overall race. So we are going to place our bet on this one. We're going to go through all of them and look at them. See, these are really close. A 966 versus a 963. I already know that this car is going to be faster. The Pagani race car. Wow, that one's almost 1,000. We may have problems with this one right here, guys. He may get us with that one, because that car is really fast. Another 1,000 class. You see how everything's stopping at 999, but it ain't going into the thousands? Well, this is going to be a tight race, because I know this old school Buick over here that's got the supercharger on it, is a pretty fast car too, and the Pagani's fast, but I'm going to lean into the Pagani range because it is pretty quick. And I know the Hammerdale Styralis S, I forgot what that actual car is in real life, but this is one of the fastest cars in the game, is right here. So I'm definitely placing my bets on it. And then we got another Hammerdale. Now this is kind of a hard one to decide. So we want to try to knock out these higher horsepower classes. That way we actually have a chance of winning. So right here, we're going to be first up. So we don't even know what our bets are going to do. We got to get through this first race. Oh, we're going against Hammerdale. That's great. But anyways, let's see what we can do. We got it. Uh-oh, I heard somebody like wreck or something. I think he lost control and hit the wall. But guys, he was right on us. I mean, he was right behind us. We had a pretty poop reaction time. A 1:33 is not a good reaction time. Like, that is horrible. But the game tries to like cheat you and say that you red lighted. It does all types of stuff. You just gotta watch it. Yeah, he was literally right on us. So we gotta watch that. And that was a 996 Hammerdale. So we got him knocked out now. We don't gotta worry about it. And let's see how the rest of our races turned out. Alright, so it looks like, let's see what our next one is. So we already know that this guy's going to have more of a chance of winning because it's going to try to put a car into there with you, and you would be surprised. This old school Buick will have more of a chance of outrunning that Ferrari because of the amount of torque that supercharged V8. I've done built a many of those engine on here, and I know what type of power they do. They normally run like a 4-speed power glide, and because of the amount of torque, they can make the gears kind of long and keep the RPMs low. So we may even try out a 10-speed on ours. But I don't want to mess with our car too much. We want to try to get out here and make our money. Try to bet on the higher one to win. Even though you may lose the bet, at least you get that car knocked out of the way. That way you ain't got to be racing against it. So use the betting system to your advantage. Even though you may lose the bet, you're still going to win the tournament. If you're correct. Let's see if we can get a better reaction time. Yeah, we should be a lot better that time. Got a 207 that time. Our reaction time was a .015, which is good. Yeah, we stomped that car pretty bad, like almost by a whole second through the half mile. Got him at a half a second at a quarter, so that's a big deal in racing. Say yeah, guys, this is going to be a tough race here because it looks like we're winning all of our bets. So I'm still going to go pro drag car. Like I said, this car is extremely fast, but then again, so is this one. This is a hard decision, but I'm going to go for this car even though I'm possibly going to lose because I'm going to have a better chance of outrunning the old like Dodge over here, whatever it is. So, oh man, we got 5 minutes. I gotta hurry up for the the track closes. So we gotta hurry up and get done with this tournament and get our car back to the shop. Boy, you can see the rubber we're leaving on the pavement though. Got him. We actually got him by a good amount of time. But he was a 963 in performance. So we did lose that bet. See, right now we done won $8,650 just in betting and winning races. We haven't even won the tournament yet. So our total is to move down to 225,000 because it costs money to bet. See, we done lost some bets. So in total, let's see, that's 9. That is, we done lost $1,100 in bets. So, but we're gonna win a lot more. So let's see. This is our last race. Let's see if we can get it. We're racing against old school, and this car is gonna be quick. And we got him. Oh yeah, we just won first time out. Driven by Christ Autos drag car wins its first season right there, or its first weekend of our, day of racing. So we got a winning title now. So let's keep this winning title undefeated. And I'm going to show y'all the grand total of the money that we made. So we made $14,650. Like I said, guys, these cars can pay for scrap. They can pay for your next project. So let's go ahead and head back home because we are done for the day. I just wanted to give y'all that drag racing tutorial. So pay attention to your performance numbers. It's very important because that's going to be based upon how you're going to win. If you got a car that's just barely scraping over that 100th, use the computer to lower your horsepower, but you got to get a tunable ECM to do this. So use the computer to lower your horsepower. That way, if you were like a 702, you can drop it down into like a 699 or a 698 and have an extreme chance of winning. You can already tell our car is dirty. It's got dirt on it right now, but anyways, yeah, it's a sand dune, it's a drag strip, out there in the middle of the desert, so the cars get kind of dusty. We're gonna cut through the backside of our shop, but guys, that is going to be it for episode 11. That was great. Jesus was with us down there at the racetrack. We we built that car in his honor and glory. That's what you should do every day in your life, even if you are, a teenager or an adult that's watching this. Dedicate everything to the Lord and watch it prosper. That is covered in Scripture. So, guys, that is going to be it for episode 11. We're done. We're fixing to shut down everything for today, and we are going to start up tomorrow with catching customer orders. So, and we got everything. We can just hit the main power to everything. We're out of here. We're done. But that was good. We actually won this season. But anyways, guys, before I get into the truck, I hope y'all have a blessed day and a blessed tomorrow. And I'm going to catch y'all on episode 11 on Driven by Christ Auto. Later.